right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
From Foley to The Voice. Tonight, Ruby Lee takes a break from rehearsals in L.A. and drops a major hint to 5 on Your Side about her finale performance.
Right now, we're almost at the peak of the Gemini meteor shower. Why most of us have a great opportunity to see those meteors tonight.
Our top story, a 15-year-old charged with murder, accused of killing a woman in front of her teenage daughter. Tonight, a father and grandfather's demands for justice.
He should pay a similar price.
Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Kay Johnson was killed back in January during an attempted carjacking outside her South St. Louis home. Our Robert Townsend talked with her father just hours ago, and Robert joins us live outside the juvenile detention facility where the teen suspect is being held. Robert.
Mike, on Monday, Mark Johnson said he learned the young suspect was charged with killing his daughter. That's some relief for this devastated dad. Not a day goes by that Mark Johnson doesn't think about his daughter, Kay Johnson. Johnson's dad lives in Tennessee.
Just her personality, she was easy to talk with. She cared about us.
On the night of January 24th, Kay was pulling her Honda Civic into her garage behind her home on Compton Avenue in South St. Louis. Court documents reveal 15-year-old Deshaun Harris and 2 others suddenly pulled up in a stolen car parked behind Johnson's vehicle and jumped out with guns. Prosecutors say the suspects ordered Johnson to get out, but when she refused, they say Harris fired a shot into her car, hitting Kay in her face, killing her.
We just received the call in the evening from her ex-husband.
A heartbreaking call they received 11 months ago still grips the hearts of Kay's parents, 2 siblings, and entire family.
It really hit your heart. We just remember what a good daughter she was.
The 38-year-old mom was killed in front of her daughter, who was sitting in the front seat.
She just turned 15. Her daughter was our only grandchild. She's seeing a therapist.
Harris is charged as an adult with second-degree murder and armed criminal action.
Rather than second degree, I think first degree is more appropriate. It was premeditated. If he had the intent to kill.
Now, Johnson wants justice for his daughter.
Life in prison, at the very least. He stole away my daughter's life.
Now, prosecutors tell us phone records also tied Harris to Johnson's murder and other carjackings. Tonight, the teenager is being held without bond. Live near Midtown, I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
One woman is dead after a 3-car crash in North St. Louis County. That crash happened around 4:30 tonight on North Lindbergh near Jamestown Bay Drive in Blackjack. A woman was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. 2 other adults and a child were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Tonight, a budget battle in St. Louis County has turned into a war of semantics. County Executive Sam Page says the budget the council passed last night cuts $14 million from his proposal. But some council members argue some departments and programs are simply not getting an increase in spending. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski spoke with one department that says it will actually see significant budget cuts. Laura?
Mike, the St. Louis County Public Administrator tells me they only asked for a small increase in their budget, and instead they got a budget cut with an increasing caseload as they try to help the most vulnerable people who have no one else to turn to.
Tucked away in the St. Louis County Courts building is this small 5th-floor office where St. Louis County Public Administrator Tim Weeks and his team of 9 others care for about 713 estates and the people attached to them across the entire county.
When we start to get involved, that's when a nursing home or a hospital or a family member will petition the court and ask for the appointment of a guardian conservator. And if there's nobody available to do that, or there's nobody able or willing, and the court makes that finding, then my office is appointed as the guardian of last resort, essentially.
Weeks says he and his staff do a lot for the people in their care, including enrolling them in benefits, finding them a facility or group home to live in, making medical decisions, and even liquidating their assets.
And we will go in the house and we'll take inventory and collect any and all valuable assets in that home.
Attorney John Chalice, who has worked in guardianship and conservatorship cases cases for 20 years says for a long time it was elderly people who needed this type of care. Now the number of cases is going up and the people in need are going down in age.
We've seen an incredible rise over the last 10 to 15 years of younger adults needing guardianships and conservatorships because of mental health reasons, or other concerns that may exist.
Because of the increase in cases, Weeks proposed a small 2% budget increase to the county, and nearly 90% of that was for personnel costs. The council responded with a 10% cut, which he says could mean layoffs.
That if we don't have enough staff to act quickly and act appropriately and find placement for these folks and obtain the benefits that they need, we're going to be in trouble.
Weeks says for now it will be business as usual, but he'll be going back to the county council in the second quarter to ask for the funding they need to remain fully staffed.
A St. Louis jury has found a man guilty of raping a 12-year-old girl at a children's sleepover. It took the jury only 40 minutes to convict Devin LaSalle Hughes of first-degree statutory rape. The crime happened back in January 2021 at the Home-to-Home Suites at South Taylor near the Central West End. Hughes will be sentenced in February. He could face life in prison. Tonight, the U.S. Senate passed a new defense bill. It includes a short-term extension to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance, or FISA Act. The bill also provides the largest raise for service members in more than 20 years. But the bill stripped funding for victims exposed to radiation from the government's nuclear waste. It would have provided compensation for tens of thousands of Americans exposed to the government's radioactive material, including those exposed to waste in Coldwater Creek and the Westlake landfill. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, who championed that provision, released a statement saying, "It's nothing to celebrate. Defense contractors get paid billions, while Missourians poisoned by their government get nothing. It's a travesty." A developing story on Capitol Hill tonight, where just hours ago the U.S. House voted to formally authorize an impeachment inquiry into President Biden's congressional Republicans are investigating claims that the president and his son engaged in an influence peddling scheme. The vote comes on the same day Hunter Biden was on Capitol Hill demanding to testify in public, not behind closed doors like Republicans are demanding. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
House Republicans making it official tonight, formally authorizing an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. All Democrats voted against the measure. All Republicans voted for it.
The resolution is adopted.
I think that sent a message loud and clear to the White House. We expect you to comply with our information requests and our subpoenas.
The investigation has been underway for months, centered on so far unproven allegations that the president used political influence to enrich his son, Hunter Biden. GOP members have yet to offer proof directly tying President Biden to his son's business dealings.
This is more like a what is it, not a who done it. We don't know what the crime is.
House Republicans argue that a formal impeachment inquiry will strengthen their access to more documents and testimony.
We now think this helps us get the witnesses, the key witnesses that we want.
In a statement, President Biden slammed House Republicans for leaving for the holidays without passing a pressing national security package, saying, quote, "Instead of doing their job on the urgent work that needs to be done, they are choosing to waste time on this baseless political stunt that even Republicans in Congress admit is not supported by facts." The vote comes the same day Hunter Biden defied a House subpoena for a closed-door deposition. He came to Capitol Hill offering again to testify publicly.
I'm here today to make sure that the House committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies.
House Republicans say they'll move to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress.
Mr. President, should your son have defied the subpoena?
President Biden has firmly denied wrongdoing while standing by his son.
The impeachment investigation comes as President Biden faces an already tough 2024 re-election bid marked by lagging poll numbers and crises around the world. From Capitol Hill, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Republican Congresswoman Mary Miller of Illinois says she voted in favor of the inquiry, saying, quote, "The American people deserve to know why the Biden family was paid millions by foreign entities and why Biden lied about it for years," close quote. No Democrats who represent local districts have commented on the vote. The Christmas lights at House Springs Park are dark tonight thanks to some Grinches. Overnight, vandals slashed several inflatables and threw other decorations into the pond. They even stole some extension cords. If you know who may be responsible, you're asked to call the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Well, Ruby Lee is gearing up for next week's finale of NBC's The Voice. The youngest singer in the competition advanced to the top 5 last night. The 16-year-old yodeling sensation from small-town Foley, Missouri, took a break from rehearsals today to talk with 5 on Your Side. She can't tell us what song she will sing for the finale, but dropped this hint.
I got a song that they never get cleared for the show because there's only one original writer left, and he never clears a song for movies, for TV shows, for anything, and it's only been played one time on the show because one of the coaches knew him personally and got him to clear it.
Ruby says her support from back home in Missouri has been incredible, but adds she needs even more of your support to be crowned champion.
Thanks for all the support. Thanks for being a part of my family. And remember, finale is coming up very soon, so vote, vote, vote. Don't forget. Very important. Tell your friends, your family, your pets, whoever you need to. Make sure that they vote. And let's do this. Let's bring back Missouri's first win. And let's just do this. Let's give Reba her first win.
You can vote for Ruby on the Voice website and app after she performs Monday night. The winner will be crowned on Tuesday night, and you can watch it all here on 5 on Your Side.
Farewell to the Chief. The note striking a chord after firing the coach who brought St. Louis its first Stanley Cup.
I have to be better. We have to be better in this locker room.
Tonight, reaction from the Blues locker room, plus a look back at the Craig Berube era. Taking the kids to the movies over winter break doesn't have to break the bank. Tonight, the showtimes where the feature is savings.
Tonight's event on Mother Nature's big screen, the night sky, is the Gemini meteor shower. How many meteors we might see overnight, and the latest on our weekend rain chances in just 8 minutes.
Another sting tonight for St. Louis sports fans. Stan Kroenke's nearly $6 billion stadium that he built to move the Rams to Southern California will host another Super Bowl. Tonight, the NFL announced SoFi Stadium will host the Super Bowl 61 in 2027. The venue hosted the big game in 2022, and the Rams beat the Cincinnati Bengals. 2027 will also mark 60 years since the first Super Bowl at the LA Coliseum, where the Green Bay Packers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. A consumer alert tonight. Tesla is recalling nearly every car it has ever sold in the U.S. The issue is with more than 2 million cars equipped with the controversial autopilot technology. Advocates say the driver assistance feature should include safety systems that activate if the driver is not paying attention. The recall comes after years of warnings from government regulators and safety advocates, including Consumer Reports, following a series of crashes, some of them deadly.
This recall is long overdue. Tesla Autopilot is behind the pack when it comes to safety and when it comes to making sure that people are engaged. After all, this system is not self-driving. It's advanced, but it cannot drive the car. And so it needs to have safeguards in place to make sure people are paying attention.
Tesla says it will fix the problem with an over-the-air software update. It will incorporate additional alerts for drivers like keeping their hands on the steering wheel while autopilot is engaged. Consumer Reports will assess the update as soon as it's available. A rally on Wall Street today. The Dow jumped to a record high after the Federal Reserve signaled it would cut interest rates several times next year. Today, the Fed kept the benchmark rate steady at more than 5%. The central bank initiated several hikes in the last year to tamp down inflation. Well, a family outing can cost a small fortune if you're making ends meet, but it doesn't have to be if you're headed to the movies. As Michelle Lee found out, sometimes it's about knowing which day is the best day to spend your money.
All right, pretty soon all the kids are going to be out for holiday breaks, and you're going to want to find some indoor activities that don't break the bank. So we thought it might be kind of fun to do a best day segment, starting with movies. So we are here at St. Andrew Cinema in St. Charles.
Everybody was hoping that we were staying in the dollar show. We couldn't make that a full-time thing, but we stayed true to the dollar show on our Wednesdays. So Wednesdays is every show that's showing throughout the week, any other day as well, is $1 all day long.
And Chase Park Plaza is also a great place to go on Wednesdays because all movies are $5 unless the movie opening happens to fall on a Wednesday. And for most other theaters, Tuesdays are really great days to go to a movie. We know that AMC and Cinemark both have a ton of $5 deals on Tuesdays, from tickets to concessions. Hi, Barbie. Even Marcus Theaters has a $2 hot dog deal on Tuesdays. And at the Alamo Drafthouse, you can get a monthly subscription for $20 and actually watch up to one movie a day.
If you're a regular moviegoer, I know my husband used to be, that would be his weekly thing on Tuesdays when they would throw them back to $5.
Over at Landmark Theaters in the Plaza Frontenac, you can get a discount ticket book, and that also serves as a great holiday gift.
People can grab them online, put them as stocking stuffers. Great gift idea.
And don't forget, loyalty programs are a great way to save, and they're almost always free. Plus, most theaters give discounts for students, seniors, and military members. In St. Charles, Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
Even AAA can give you big deals if you go through its website, and you can save money if you buy your tickets through one of the big box stores like Costco or Sam's Club. Well, it was a night of holiday shopping and supporting small businesses at the Urban League of St. Louis. A holiday pop-up Biz Fest was held tonight at the Urban League headquarters in North City. The free community event featured goods from local businesses and provided a networking opportunity for entrepreneurs. With exactly 1 week to go, we still have more than 500 little wishes to grant. 5 on Your Side has teamed up with the Foster and Adopted Care Coalition to provide holiday gifts to area kids impacted by foster care. If you'd like to help out, just go to ksdk.com/Little Wishes. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with that weather first forecast. And we're a week and a half away from Christmas, and Scott, it doesn't feel like it at all.
Does not feel like it at all, nor will it really feel like it as we head through time, because we're talking about temperatures right now that are in the upper 30s when they really ought to be in the upper 20s, and highs have been in the 50s. So that's a big deal for us. Right now, pretty quiet out at Lambert. St. Louis Lambert International's a little on the chilly side, but the flights are coming and going without a big problem. And also in our sky tonight, we have the Gemini meteor shower, and it's really starting to peak now. You're going to see the best viewing over the course of the next 4 or 5 hours. So if you can stay up a little later tonight, and if you can get into a dark spot, away from the city lights, that's really what you have to do. You got to get away from any light pollution, and you want a wide view of the sky. And it's through the overnight hours that will be the best. You don't have the moon out there to deal with and contend with, so the sky's nice and dark. And it's really any part of the sky, but you'll need to get out there and let your eyes get adjusted to being in the dark and, the lack of light, if you will. And that way you'll be able to see even some of the more faint meteors that streak across the sky. Just a few high thin clouds have been rolling overhead. That's it for us. All the action weather-wise is still to our west. Eventually that system's going to creep our way, but it's not happening until we get into the first part of the weekend, and it doesn't bring a whole lot of rain for us. It's 39 degrees right now. Our low this morning was 34, 52. The high today, again, well above average. Just those high thin clouds right now. 20s in some spots already away from town. We will see lows away from town in the 20s, low 30s in town, and everything's quiet right now. Again, high pressure's over us, just those thin clouds. Probably see a few more of them tomorrow. The focus is off to our west, and that's what we'll get here in time for the weekend. Not tomorrow, other than a few high clouds. Tomorrow is likely to be the pick day of the week, brighter than Friday. Friday clouds are rolling in as we head into Friday night. The chances for showers to our west will increase. And by Saturday morning, there's a chance we could have a few scattered showers around. Probably a little break towards the midday hours, lower 50s on Saturday. And then as we head towards Saturday evening, probably a little better chance of seeing a few showers around But the big focus later in the weekend from Saturday into Sunday will be off to our southeast. So our weekend is looking pretty good in St. Louis. Overall, we will be looking at that chance for a few isolated, mainly light showers as we go through Saturday. But by Sunday, that's pushing out of the picture, and it's a little cooler on Monday and Tuesday, but not particularly cold, certainly not for this year. The average high, 45 right now.
Yeah.
We're above that.
And look up in the sky tonight.
Yeah, great scene.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, Frank is off. Corey Miller is next with sports.
Coming up, we will hear from the man who fired Craig Berube and his now former Blues players, as well as take a look back at the entire Berube era in St. Louis. That's up next after the break.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
I'm so happy for the city and the fans here. They deserve it, but more than anything, I'm so happy for our players because how hard they played, character and leadership coming through, winning us a cup.
5 years ago, Craig Berube took the reins and led the Blues to the ultimate mountaintop. Now he's on the other end, fired by Doug Armstrong after a subpar start to the season and replaced by Drew Bannister from the AHL. There are far more people to blame for the current state of the Blues than just Craig Berube, but he was the one on the chopping block, and the folks still here had to deal with the fallout.
I feel personally responsible for the situation that we're in, and I also hope that the people that I just talked to feel personally responsible too. Like St. Louis, they're smart. You know, the fans are smart. They know when they leave the building whether they got their money's worth. It's not hard, you know, and we got to give them their money's worth on a more consistent effort. Our power plays at or near the bottom, our penalty kill is at or near the bottom, and our point total is at or near the bottom. At some point, you have to make changes.
I guess the first emotions are you feel guilty and you feel responsible for a lot of it.
You know, we've got to be proud to wear that blue note jersey and proud to be part of this organization and play for this city. And if you're not, just get out of here because you know, we're not wasting time. I think these are special years. You know, being able to play in the NHL, it's a privilege, and it's not going to be forever. So I think a good amount of us, you know, we understand that, and we want to make the most of our time.
It's not a great day, but it's a new day.
Craig Berube won't be remembered in St. Louis for what happened today. He'll be remembered for this. With producer Andy Muller, we look back on Berube's tenure with the Blues.
I'm demanding, but I'm fair.
This was our introduction to Coach Craig Berube back in 2018. The magic he would bring didn't show up at first.
And a short-handed breakaway, and he scores.
We look like we're obviously not a confident hockey team, and we're waiting. Looks like we're waiting to lose at times.
Do I look nervous?
But Jordan Binnington created a spark, and the team got hot. Berube had the interim tag lifted as his intensity lit a fire that led them to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Pump it up here. We're here for a reason because we're a hockey team, and we're going to come home with a cup here tonight. Let's go. Sonny, Bo, Perry, Benner. Let's go.
And I gotta think the party's gonna start bubbling in St. Louis.
If greatness is defined by championships, Berube became the greatest coach in Blues history.
It's a good thing as Beagle comes in 2-on-1 to the net. They score. Mott.
The Blues took the best record in the West into the COVID bubble, but lost in the first round. The following season, the aftermath of the pandemic affected Berube's team.
Self-serving, I throw out the COVID year, it was a joke. You know, we played 7 teams.
And he comes in short-handed. The Blues captain shoots. He scores!
So now we're back in 2022, 109 points in a first-round series win, only to lose to Colorado. By that next fall, the evolution of the roster started becoming too much to overcome.
They score.
I told the players the coach is not going anywhere.
Doug Armstrong made it clear that Berube was his man as the Blues failed to make the playoffs. And off-season retooling has only continued the slide, and something had to be done. Believe it or not, but it's almost soccer season again. Tonight, City SC found out their opponent in the prestigious CONCACAF Champions Cup and it's a familiar foe. City will face Houston FC in the first round of the North American tournament. If they win, they'll face the MLS Cup champion Columbus Crew in the round of 16. Play starts on February 6. Now, Mike, the last time the Blues fired a coach in the middle of the season, Craig Berube took him to a Stanley Cup. I'm going to go on a limb and say that doesn't happen this year, but I would love if everybody's playing this clip about 5 months from now clowning me.
Yeah, well, that would be great, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
In my opinion, it wasn't the coach. They just don't have enough great players.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, Corey, thanks. Well, the Cardinals' home field has been called Busch Stadium for 70 years. Why, that won't change anytime soon. Busch Stadium is keeping its name. Anheuser-Busch has extended its naming rights to the ballpark through at least 2030. Financial terms between the Cardinals and AB were not released, but the deal also includes a marketing agreement with Ballpark Village. Mizzou and WashU are where leaders are made. That's according to Time Magazine's inaugural list of best colleges for future leaders. Time looked at where 2,000 politicians, CEOs, Nobel winners, and other leaders received their degrees. MU ranked 13th among public universities and 34th among all institutions. WashU ranked 47th overall. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. and have a great tomorrow.